Hi, this is Rian Reed with the Business Boo series. I wanted to start and have this space for us to talk about businesses because of some facts that I recently read about businesses and where they stand during this time. I read on a website that 41% of Black owned businesses are in fear of closing. And I just thought that, I could be a part of making sure that we have a space to thrive during this time. So I connected with a lot of business owners, and we're going to talk today about, who they are and how they show up and how they've been able to pivot during this time. So the first person that I have today is LaShawn Janice, and she is the founder of Purple Pink Media. So we're going to bring her on the line and we're going to ask her a few questions about how she shows up in this world. Hi,
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. So, can you please tell us what you do? What is your business? What did inspired you to start it, please?
Sure, my name is LaShawn Janice. I am the founder and creative director and CEO of Purple Pink and Media, which is a brand of Leger professionals. I have been in business for 20 years and I specialize in branding, social media, and virtual event production. And I am excited that this year is 20 years in business and that we're finally, us media professionals are finally feeling important because of what is going on in the world. And I love to teach those other professionals and media professionals of how to grow their brand and have a virtual visual presence, which is so important, especially right now.
hmm Definitely. Without you, we would be nowhere at this time. So, what would you say is your greatest accomplishment as a business owner?
My greatest accomplishment would absolutely have to be the fact that I kept pushing in the face of a lot of adversity and life happenings. And beyond the pandemic, of course, things happen all the time, family things, you have kids, there's a lack of funding, you lose your creative drive. But just the ability to transform and rebrand myself to stay relevant throughout the years is something that I really am blessed to have that type of skill set and a huge family fan base and supporters that have been rocking with me since day one. And I'm
hmm
gonna shout them out. I promise you, I'm gonna shout y'all out.
Yeah, yeah. This is a space for that. So take some time, shout them out. Who are
I
they?
definitely want to shout out, first of all, my family, my parents, my husband, who has this year especially has kind of set aside and let me do a lot of media events. Has been very supportive of me staying up late at night to do editing or having Zoom meetings 4 to 5 nights out of the week, just planning virtual events. My homie, my ace boon coon, Joseph Madison, who just did an awesome TED talk down in Atlanta. We have been rocking for 10 years, and he encouraged me to keep moving and keep going when I was at my lowest. My church family and supporters. I am a member of Church Jesus Christ in Washington, D.C., where my bishop is Bishop John T. Leslie Jr. I am building the media ministry there. Also, I have Bishop Willard E. Saunders and the Creator for So Much More Ministry. They are helping me brand. And I just so appreciative of those supporters. And I have to say, we have a common main supporter that I just didn't realize until getting on this platform is Hair Society in Laurel, Maryland. My hairstylist, been my stylist for 7.5 years, Deanne. She has
Yes,
coined looks like
it's
this.
beautiful.
And I just appreciate her. She has always encouraged me. She does my daughter's hair. She's kept me looking fabulous and wonderful. There are so many more that I can count, but those are the ones that like I really, 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 truly appreciate through this time. And they have boosted me and kept me going until like now when it's like I'm so busy. But even when there was no telephone calls, no emails, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm posting this. I don't know why I keep saying the same thing. It was for moments like this year when finally the business has actually boomed.
Definitely. So I see that for us to thrive during this time, we really need to stay in community and stay connected to the people that empower us. And we were talking about how we don't even really know how we connected, but everything aligned for a reason and a purpose at this time. So with that, what is one of the biggest challenges that you have faced, and how did you overcome that challenge as a business owner?
Trying to stay connected and network when you feel like no one else really understands your vision, and feeling that sometimes I didn't know if anyone was going to understand what I was trying to do. I didn't think anybody knew on the scale of which I thought it was going to be that big. Like now, I was saying for years, you have to have an online presence. Been saying for years, do it in excellence or not at all. Especially for my ministry clients, I've been telling them all the time, there is a church sound, there's also a church visual, there is a kingdom visual, and coming out of the box and elevating, and not just thinking of the four walls, but thinking outside of the walls. Not really understanding within myself if what I had was worth anybody paying attention to. And overcoming that is having the support of few. I really didn't have thousands of fans, didn't have a lot of likes. Nobody was really gravitating, but it was like my core team and my core support group that I stayed in contact with. And to know that you have to encourage yourself through those times, understand the worth and value that you have in your own gift, and saying, no, I'm going to keep going. And just knowing that what God has instilled in you to put forth is so important, and there is a purpose. And for me, it was just touching that one person. And if I can just know that I'm touching that one person, how awesome that would be. And that level of satisfaction, and then realizing soon one person would turn into 10, 10 people would turn into 50, 50 people would turn into 100, and staying in connection with everyone. It is difficult now. There's so many different ways to communicate, but I still sometimes go through my phone book and I actually call people. Hey, I'm just checking on you. If they don't answer the phone, sending them a text message, I just want to check on you, because I know that most days if I'm down, when someone does that for me, when I get a random text message or a random DM, it brightens up my day. So I want to be able to give that to someone else, especially as a Black woman, in an industry that is dominated by males. It is very difficult for people to take me seriously. They always say, oh no, you belong in front of the camera. And it's like, no, I like behind the scenes. Don't put me in that box. And also encouraging women to go out there and get it. And you can have it all. You can be the mom, you can be the wife, you can be the career person. I still have a straight 9 to 5 job. So you can do it all, and having that balance. It just keeps me motivated, and having time for myself. I need rest. I do need downtime, taking care of myself. I know that personally, I don't do anything on Fifth Sundays. I don't do any streaming. I don't do any worship. I don't do nothing. It's just me, myself, my family. So it's always a challenge of trying to juggle everything. But I got calendars, post-it notes everywhere to
Mm-hmm.
keep myself organized. And I think the most important time for myself is going to get my hair done and my nails done. Honestly,
Yeah.
without the kids, without anybody else, I just have that one-on-one time to talk business, to talk empowerment, to talk about what's going on in the world, and to just feel that sense of, I got that off me. I got some new hair on. I'm good to go.
Definitely. I felt that deep into my core, because when we have a business, it's kind of like our child too. We marinate on it, we show it to people, we celebrate it, but then there's also a days where, our business might have fallen and gotten a cut, is bleeding, and you're like, "Oh, I got to take care of my baby. It's hurting." So, it's really a journey, and we do need to take that time for self-care in order for us to thrive beyond that day. And what you were talking about with resilience and not stopping is really a big part of why we've been able to sustain ourselves during this time, when 41% of Black owned businesses feel as though they're not going to make it. And then, on a larger scale, Yelp said 60 of their companies has said they're permanently closed. So
Wow.
it's pretty amazing, and it's also
That's devastating,
it's
actually.
yeah, and it's a
You
blessing
know,
that we're still here.
yeah,
So,
we're still kicking, and there's a lot of people clearly by those numbers that are not. And
mhm,
I must say, in this time, I'm extremely blessed. I haven't missed a paycheck. My business is growing, and there's so many that are not in my shoes at all. And for that, I really have taken this year, and I publicly have said I really have not invoiced. I have just been accepting love offerings and honorariums, and the blessing in that is so beneficial, and something that, sometimes I have to say, you know what, let me just bless you with this service because you need it. Let me uplift you. And sometimes we have to do that for one another. I'm not saying, take advantage or get taken advantage of, but just to go ahead and, you know what, let me just do this for someone. It's not going to take me that long. I could sacrifice that. I can write it off, just to be able to bless someone, because you don't know what exactly they're needing in this time. So as business owners, we also have to uplift each other in this time, because it's a hard time for a lot of us. And we don't know what the future is going to bring either. This whole situation is not over. We are still in the thick of it and going into the cold season. We don't know what else is going to happen. I'm constantly praying for the business owners and constantly supporting those that I have been supporting since day one to continue. As soon as, for instance, my hairstylist opened back up, I was right there. What can I do in the midst of it all when she was down? I just say, you know what? Let me just send you something, because I know you're not working right now. And I want to make sure that you know that I got you. So it's sometimes that we have to do that and watch the blessings come back to us because we're paying it forward.
mhm. Yeah, I pulled up the next question I was going to ask you because I felt like it just aligned perfectly with its purpose, which was like, how has your business been able to pivot during this time? And you really talked about the generosity gene and sowing a seed into your business by giving into other people. And I think that is at the core of why our businesses have been able to thrive, is because we're not always looking to, um, cash a big check, but we're looking to, empower other people along the journey of life. So that is a core of why I believe that we've been able to thrive during this time. So if you had one piece of advice to give to someone who is starting their business, what would it be? And when before we start, I just want to bring on a new business owner with us, Kiana Williams.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi, ladies.
Kiana, hi. Kiana is a new business owner, and she is the founder and creator of Enterwire. So I just asked Janice, what is one piece of advice that she would give to a new business owner? So I wanted to bring you on the line to hear that before we go into your segment, allow you to speak.
Okay.
I think I would say keep pushing and don't give up. And just because you may not see the quantity in what you're doing, value the quality in what you are giving. And in that, it will catch. I've been doing this for 20 years, and this is the first year that I have said I can only have X amount of clients because I'm that busy.
Mhm.
But I didn't stop. I didn't stop my email distributions. I didn't stop my newsletters. I didn't stop my post. I may have slowed down because I'm busy, but I didn't stop training young people to learn Microsoft Office and video editing. I haven't stopped. And I believed in myself when everyone thought that I was crazy. Like, what is a purple, pink, and media? What is that? People said that's not going to do anything. No one's going to believe you. You don't have formal broadcasting or live
Mm.
streaming credentials. I was just like, but I got this gift and I am really, really dope in it. Like, I really can do this. people are touched by what I'm doing because I'm touched by what I'm doing. And I just kept going. And I didn't really need the affirmation of others because I knew that this is what God put me on this planet to do. And now I'm showing and it's proven. And I'm not going to be cocky about it, but I do have to sometimes pat myself on the back and say, good job, LaShawn. You did that. Now what's next? How are you going to improve? I would just say always look for ways to improve in the gift that you have. And remember that you're only as big as the legacy that you live. So if you're not teaching and giving back, whatever's in your brain, whatever gift you have, then it's not going to go to the next generation. And we cannot forget about the next generation as we continue to move forward. And even though we may be trailblazers and pioneers, you ain't going to blaze nothing if you're not teaching nobody anything. So be open to giving yourself to others and giving your knowledge to others, because ain't nobody going to do it like you do it, but they can sure enough grow and make another creative entrepreneurship out of what you've given them and what you've inspired them to do. I have a lot of interns that come and go. I have mentees that come in and then they go off to start their own business, and I'm not upset. I'm not mad. I am cultivating and training new mentees right now as we speak. Big shout out to my new graphic designer mentee, Kenneth Rivers. I love you to death. His birthday is today, so I got to tell him happy birthday. But it's awesome to see the young people grow and go and do awesome things that I didn't even think about, and I'm learning from them. So if you are a business owner and if you're thinking about starting something, or if you're thinking that, oh my goodness, I am so stuck, shake that off and get moving, because now is your season to grow. Now is your season to sometimes say, I need help. The worst thing someone can say is no. But 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes. Be hungry for your next level and be prepared for your next level. Plan it, write it down, look at it every day. Purple Pink and Media was a Post-it note that sat stuck on my dresser forever. And I didn't know what it meant until I said, no, this is what it means. This is what I'm going to do. And although I started my first business at 16, I didn't know what I was doing. But I know I wanted something for my own. I know I wanted to cultivate something that I could leave to my kids and that they can leave to their kids. So all I'm saying is do it in excellence or not at all, and go for it all the way.
Wow. That was so powerful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. If viewers would like to get in touch with you, how can they get in touch with you, LaShawn?
Oh man, I am everywhere. So you can go and look for me on YouTube. I've got a duo YouTube page with my daughter. We are vlogging together. It's called Bougie Geek. I do webinars every other Tuesday for free. You can connect with me on my website, LaShawnJanice.com, on Instagram, LaShawn Janice, on Facebook, Purple Pinkin and Purple Pinkers. To all of my Purple Pinkers, old and new and the future, reach out to me. Let's connect. Let's learn together. Let's grow together. I would give out my cell phone number, but then everybody in the world would be calling me. But if you send me an email, I'll give it to you. And you can call me anytime.
All right.
You as well. I open up my services and consultations to each one of you ladies. If you're ever looking to go live, logos, graphics, branding, I'm a StreamYard producer, Zoom host. Hit me up. Let's collaborate. Let's work together, and let's build this thing called women empowerment together.
Yes. Thank you so much. Snap. Yes. I felt
Oh yeah,
that.
you okay. Cool.
I felt that deep.
I love y'all.
Yeah. So
yay. I'm gonna use that from now on. Snap, not clap.
all right.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
I like that.
And enjoy.
Thank
the
you
rest
so
of your
much.
night.
I'm off to another meeting. I'm so sorry I can't stay on, but guess what? Because it's on Facebook, I'm going to go back and reach out, make sure that you comment your handle so I can go follow you and we can collab together. I love you guys.
Love
Stay
you.
blessed.
Bye.
Do it in excellence or not at all. See y'all.
Bye. Hi, Ryan.
All right. Hi, Kiana. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I can't seem to get the lighting right, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
We're happy that you're here.
Thank
So
you.
that little segment was just so inspiring in itself. I feel like we're done, but I don't want to be finished because there's space for you.
Thank you.
Um, so Kiana and I just got to meet during the Walker's Legacy Perspective training that we went through for 9 weeks, and we woke up Saturdays at 10 o'clock, and
Same.
we had loads of fun learning about how to empower ourselves in our business work. So, Kiana, tell us about your business and what inspired you to start it.
So my business is called Intertwine. It's a social media platform for entertainment careers. So if you're in film, TV, or theater, this is the platform for you to come and create ideas with other people who are in the industry like you. And so the reason I came up with that was I was in China and I was taking a hiatus from writing. And after a year of being there, I started to write again, children's animation and an adult animation. And when I was writing the adult animation, it was for Black people. And I was like, man, what a time to be in China. I can't write for Black people. Ain't nobody back over here. So I started thinking, man, I need to contact somebody who can help me. And it was just impossible on the internet. I was like, this is ridiculous. It's 2018, 2019. Why is this so hard to do? It should be already a thing. And so me and a developer came together. We decided to make it ourselves.
All right. That's definitely powerful. You know, anytime you see a need and there's a deep thing inside of you that's calling you for something greater, you might as well just build it yourself. And they say, build it and the people will come. So, what is your greatest accomplishment as a business owner so far? I know that you're very new, but share what your greatest accomplishment so far.
So far, it has to be, it varies, just day by day, just waking up and knowing that I have a business and maintaining the business. As for like, I am new, I am fresh, I'm like a year out now. And the idea that I've maintained it for a year, like I woke up the other day and I was like, I've had a business for a year. I've incorporated in the last month. I've been a sole proprietor up until then. And I was like, no, you've owned a business the whole time. And it's those little moments where you have to sit back and acknowledge that for yourself. Be like, no, I've I've paid people. I've had interns. I've built things. I've talked to people about my idea. It's growing and there are people using it. And it's just those reaffirmations that I do every day just to make sure I know that that is the greatest accomplishment. Like I built something, people use it, and I'm maintaining this every day.
Mm.
Short answers, right?
Yeah, but it's powerful because when you name a thing and then feel like you own it, it's two different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like saying you have a business, but then actually feeling it and owning it is like a whole different understanding. And I
Mm-hmm.
think we all go through that process of, maybe self-doubt or not feeling like we're good enough to be there, as previously talked about. Everybody's not always going to see that thing, but
Mm-hmm.
then when you own it and you see it growing, there's a celebration that nobody can take away. And it
Yeah.
really doesn't matter what other people are saying, it only matters how you see it and you feel it. So, what is one of your biggest challenges that you face so far as a business owner?
Everybody has asked me, is it a challenge to be a Black woman who is trying to build a business? Is it a challenge that you started having a business during the coronavirus? Is it a challenge just to start? What is the biggest challenge that I face? And I answer that is nothing. I haven't faced any challenge. I haven't faced any discrimination. I haven't faced any difficulties with COVID-19. I haven't faced anything like that. And I think partially because of all the grants and the things available for Black and Brown people now, but maybe it would have been a lot harder if it had not been for that. But I think it is about your mindset. The starting of
Mhm.
it can be really, I think, the most difficult part, to think that I'm going to give up everything and I want to make this thing, whether or not you do it full time, part time, or just as a side job, right? A side chick job. I think it is the idea that it's just the hardest thing is validating your own dream, right? To say to yourself, I want to sell this, I want to build this, I want to be a service in this way, and then
Mhm.
doing it.
Mhm.
Right? And then like actually doing the thing that you want to do instead of talking yourself out of it or downplaying what you think you want to do, or you're like, oh, maybe I don't want to do that. it doesn't make money. Maybe I won't be any good at it. The imposter syndrome comes out, and you'd be like, no, tell yourself no, that this is something you want to do it, and let it bug you. That was the thing about this. This was something that bugged
Mm-hmm.
me for 2 years, and I just didn't know what it was. And then I had to find out that it was something I had to create for myself. Just let it bug you. If it bugs you, then it'll come out if you let it come out. Just let that one thing bug you that tells you you can be a business owner, and then make it happen so you can shut that voice up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I listen to Gary Vee often, and he
Mm,
talks about how he doesn't like judge himself, and he also doesn't really listen to what his customers are saying, either positive or negative, because sometimes that like stops your growth. So
mm,
if you're doing too much celebrating, then you're not growing. If you're doing too much thinking about the negative, then you're not growing either. So I
mm,
think that's why it's important to like not chase likes and not chase, those smiley faces, because that is just like a signal in your brain that makes you happy, but you're like, what are you really producing? And
mm,
how are you making the world better? And are you making money from this? Because if you have a whole bunch of likes, but you're not making anything, making money or making an impact, then, what are you doing? And maybe you need to pivot to something else. So I think that mindset is really helpful
yeah.
in getting to your core as a business owner and building what you have to give in this world. So if you had one tech tool that you think has like changed your business, what would that tech tool be?
It's one tech tool, like the
You
best of
you
them all.
yeah, well, you can name a few. But yeah, so what is your favorite tech tool that has made a difference in your ability to run your business well?
It's been Canva, of course. If you don't know what Canva is, you can be your own little graphic designer, to an extent. Then there's Google Drive. It's very helpful for putting all my files in one place. And then surprisingly, I know this is not the same sort of answer. It's not like a tool, but it is very useful if you know how to use it. Eventbrite. I know that's not one of the tools everybody's out here using. You might be thinking that's where you get events from and all those sort of things, but you'd be surprised what's up there nowadays. There's a lot of panels up there. There's a lot of mixers up there. If you want to meet lawyers, if you're an entrepreneur, you're a woman in color, there are a lot of mixer events on those. For instance, the reason I'm in one of the accelerators I'm in, Women in AI, love that accelerator to death, love the program. If you're in artificial intelligence, you're a data scientist, look into your local Women in AI chapter. The ambassador there is probably awesome. I went to one of the events on Eventbrite for Women in AI, and I accidentally met an ambassador in the Netherlands, and she put me on game. She
Wow.
put me in an accelerator that was already started, and she's like, you know what, you're fine. You're doing amazing. You can just join halfway through the accelerator. That's fine, as long as you want to. And I was like, oh my god. So go to those
Uh-huh.
panels, go to those Q&As, go to Eventbrite, and just pick up a random one. I'm talking real random. I wasn't ever supposed to be in an artificial intelligence panel, and I was there, and I met someone who linked me up to something that was so amazing.
Hmm. Yeah, I would definitely also add to that and say Meetup is another
Mm,
place to network. And there's one that I found that is very powerful, I think, in the DMV, which is Lunch Club. I don't know if you have it in your area, but look into Lunch Club, and they'll match you. They use AI actually to match you with people.
mm,
And the first time I met the person, they were a girl, they had a boy's name like me, they came from a large family, and I was like, how did they know all that? So we talked for like 2 hours about life, and it was just such an
mm.
amazing conversation. And I think when we network, that's when we grow too.
Exactly.
It makes us realize that it's not us by ourselves, but how well are we able to network people, feed into people for free. Also, then they become your clients, then business partners. So, there's lots of different ways that we can engage with each other during this time. So
Oh yeah,
thank you for bringing up the part about
networking.
Eventbrite and
Yeah.
how people can use Eventbrite for networking, because I don't think many people take advantage of that like you have been doing.
Mm.
So What leaders in your industry have fed into you, and why do you admire them? How do they inspire you?
Mm, leaders in my industry. So that's a tricky question because I identify the leaders in my industry are both tech and then they're entertainment. So, right. So if I think in entertainment leaders, there's just so many who have made a change for like black and brown bodies who go out there and make a change for black and brown bodies. There are people who are actors who make changes for you to go vote and make room for other black people. You know, anyone who can make room for
Mm,
black, brown bodies and women, so people of color and women, those are my inspiration, right? Because that's what I want to aspire to do. I want to have power where I can make space for other people. And the people who are already
hmm.
doing that in the industry, they're just showing me how to do it better. They're showing me how I can do it when I get up there, what I need to be doing, and what, like, the goods and the bads, the pros and the cons that they're experiencing now. When you make space for other people who's going to say something to you, or how many people can you inspire when you do that? And so that's the I don't know if anybody knows that. They should if they're empowered. That's the future, right? You have to start understanding if you're not going to be diverse, if you're not going to be inclusive, you're going to get left behind and hopefully destroyed.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. It's all about legacy. What legacy are you leaving, and
Mm,
how your legacy is connecting to other people. And that was really powerful, but about what you said about creating space
mm,
for other people. And I really believe that's a core of what I do. That's why I wanted to create this experience here where we can
thank you.
celebrate each other and give more space to share our businesses. And can you also share like where you're located at this time? Because I
Yeah,
know. Mhm.
we're in California right now. So we're incorporated in California, but we're looking to move to New York, but keep that on the DL. That's not there yet.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so the world is your oyster,
Mm,
You can do anything that you want and be anything that you want. So if you had one piece of advice to give to a new business owner, what advice would you give?
I was hearing Janice say this, and I was like, "Oh, I'm ready for this question. I'm so ready for this question." I was inspired because Natalie is our teacher, and Natalie had spoken on something that I was like, that hit real nice. So the advice she gave was, if you think that business is already a business, the answer is yes, but why does that stop you? For example, that beauty shop down the street, you want to own a beauty shop? What's stopping you? There's another beauty shop around the corner too. There are multiple beauty shops, and they don't get
Right, right.
like you over here thinking that if you have to reinvent the wheel, or if you can't reinvent the wheel, you can't have something. That's not true. There are so many beauty salons. There are so many stores. There are so many different kinds of shirts. So many different kinds of bread in the world. If you feel that that's what you want to do, then do it. Like I walked into Costco and I looked around and I was like, everything in here is an invention. From
Mm,
this bread, from this fan, from that Halloween costume, to this big back box of fruit roll-ups. These are all just a different form of an invention. It doesn't have to be technical. I mean, we're in the world where everything has to be technical now, and everybody thinks that the newest invention will be a software or hardware, VR, AI, whatever. It doesn't have to be. Everything that you have right now in your room is an invention, and you don't have to think so grand about it. If you want to do something and it's already been done, just do it better or do it in your local neighborhood, right? It's
mm,
there's a need somewhere, and if you can find that need and you love doing it, don't let it stop you that there are competition. There's always competition. Competition is
mhm.
good. That means there's a need for it.
All right. Thank you so much. That this actually closes out our conversation really well because it matches my morning. I started doing some more morning devotionals, and the devotional was about like using what you have and giving gratitude to what you have to build what you want to do.
Mm.
So, thank you for being a part of my whole day by making the connection from my morning to my night.
Go for
Um, yes. If people want to get in touch with you, how can they get in touch with you?
it. Oof. You can do it through the socials. I'm on IG. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I, is my full name somewhere? I should probably put my full name somewhere. My name is Kiana Williams. The hardest part is my first name, so there you go. You can also come and see our launch. We're going to launch our beta tester for the social media platform November 1st. It's at intertwine.us. I wish I could put that in a link somewhere. I'd be like, look at the link below, but it's not. It's not going to happen. But
Oh, tell me. I'll put it up for them. What do you want?
here, I'll put it in there. I'll let everybody see.
Okay, yeah, put it in the chat and put it or change your name.
And then, so that's going to be our launch, intertwine.us. It's November 1st. I'm going to do more of these. I want more people on it. The whole month of November will be free, and I'll have anybody sign up if they want. And then after that, I'm going to be selective. Not everybody can come on here. I'm going to be like, no.
Uh-huh. You want quality.
So you better
Quality,
get in.
not quantity.
That's the new thing right there. I want to be able to walk in to a nice place and have it be all nice and pristine. But if everybody and their mom up in here, they destroyed the shelves. Like,
Uh-huh.
so we're gonna
This is
make
a
that open. Sorry,
all right. This is a classy establishment.
you best believe. Come in here and be ready to eat a steakums. And
Oh,
then,
Kiana.
oh, we gotta have fun. And then, yeah, if you want to reach out to me, I don't have a phone number I give out to people,
Oh, you
but
don't have to. You don't have to give a phone number. Just just if they can go to your website and get connected with you, that's a great place. And then you can move from there. Hmm.
good, good, good. So come and
So,
visit me. Come say hi.
yes, yes, thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Please make sure you connect with Kiana and participate in her launch activity on November 5th,
First,
1st, on November 1st. And then also LaShawn Janice from Purple Pinking Media. It's so strange because honestly, we don't even know how we got connected, and we just randomly have a connection. We have the same hairdresser, so everything seems to be working out the way it's supposed to work. And yes, we can network through all the different platforms out there like Eventbrite and Meetup. But I always say that God is my biggest networker because He is the one that matches us up with the people that we need to be with. So you
mm,
have a wonderful night, Kiana, and thank you for everybody who listened on today.
bye, guys.
Bye.